Hi, coming up next on Talking Trees, we're going to teach you how to properly plant a tree. Stay with us. So we're just about done. I've added a good amount of mulch to the base of the tree. And why would we be concerned about adding mulch at this point? Well, there's a couple of reasons. One is that the mulch helps control the temperature underneath the soil level. This tree is going to be kind of stressed for a while because of all the roots that it lost in the transplant process. So by adding the mulch, it'll help keep the soil cool in the summertime, and it actually helps keep it a little bit warmer in the winter. And the other reason that we want to add the mulch is that it helps keep the soil moist. And of course we know that the roots on this tree are going to need a lot of water for a while before the new roots become established. One thing that I want to caution you against is when you add mulch, you want to keep the mulch away from the base of the tree. Once again, we don't want to cover up the root collar that we so carefully positioned in the hole. A lot of times we'll see in landscapes where the mulch gets piled up all the way to the base of the tree, sometimes 6 inches too deep. And that can promote decay of the tender bark that's right at the root collar. So keep your mulch a few inches away from the base of the tree and make your layer, 3, 4, 5 inches thick. Nice fluffy mulch, and that will really help to keep the tree happy while it establishes new roots. If this tree were in a windy position, we might have to think about adding stakes and supports in order to keep it upright. In this case, this tree is in a protected backyard, and we're pretty confident that it's going to stay in its upright position. If I did add stakes and straps, I'd want to make sure that I used a flexible and flat strapping material around the trunk of the tree. This is a whole lot better than using a wire or even a wire through a rubber hose or a rope. The flat strap won't damage the tender bark of the tree. And so be very careful about the material that you use to stake the tree in place. Well, I'm kind of warm. I'm going to look for some shade. After I finish up with the rest of my mulch, I'm going to get a cold drink and enjoy the shade from this beautiful tree that we planted today. I hope you enjoyed our segment on Talking Trees. Join us again next time. I'm R.J. Laverne with the Davey Tree Expert Company. Well, I got my cold drink, but if you think my work is done, not quite yet. I worked up a pretty good thirst putting the tree in the ground, but you can imagine how thirsty this tree is going to be after all the work that we've done to get it from the nursery and get it properly planted. So for the next year, I'm going to take very special care of this tree, making sure that it always has enough water, that the mulch is in place, and that I pay particular attention to the shape of the leaves, the color of the leaves. Anytime I see that this tree is getting stressed, especially if the leaves start to wilt, I'm going to make sure that I add lots of water. And then in about a year's time, I'll think about doing the first pruning on this tree, removing any broken or crossed branches. And I might think about adding fertilizer at that time too, especially a slow release fertilizer like Arbor Green Pro. That will promote root growth and get the roots established in the soil. Before you know it, this tree will be well on its way. Thanks again for joining us. See you next time on Talking Trees.